All right, guys, we are live, as it's telling me. All right, so this is book number two, and sadly, Sophia and Mike can join us, but maybe next time. And then this book was from Samantha,
hmm
so I guess if you wanted to kind of introduce the book, and well, why you decided to
Sure.
pick it and why it was so interesting.
Um, this book is The Elegance of the Hedgehog. Let me see who the author is. Um, Muriel Barbery is the author. It was originally like a French book, but I chose it because it was on the number one list, honestly. It looked funny, and it was, I thought, to an extent. So just
You learn
a
back
good
in.
book to try.
Yeah, it's and what drink are you drinking? I forgot mine. It's upstairs, but it's a peach slushy, so with wine in it. I'll put the recipe up on the fan page.
Oh.
So it's mighty delicious, but I don't want to like just I could go run up there, but eh. All right. Well, I guess I'll start off. It was kind of hard for me to get into this book just because it's a fictional book, but it's packed with philosophy, everything. So when I'm trying to read it, I was like, watching Hazel or like trying to chase after her. So it was kind of hard to kind of get in depth with the book. Um, I don't know if anybody else had that
Yeah,
problem.
it had lots of vocabulary words too.
Yeah, that too. And I'm like, thank goodness that my iPad, I can just click on the word and everything just popped up right there, and I didn't have to like go open the tab and do all that stuff. So it was definitely hard for me because if even at night after Hazel went to bed, it was just kind of like I'm so tired. But it was definitely different, and I wish Sophia was here from our last book, which was definitely crazy, like Matrix-esque, fictional, very political book, and then we jump into this one. So it was just kind of like, oh, okay, it's like completely opposite. But it was a tough one for me to get into, me personally.
Yeah.
I
See,
don't know.
I still do paper books, so I'm going to show you my book. Look at all the notes it has on it.
Oh my goodness, I know. And
I
my
looked up,
iPad
I'm
was
like, oh,
like
let me look up
highlighting, and I
this
was like,
word.
let me Google that.
Really good word. Oh, I don't know what this means. Let me look up this word. So I have like a whole list of new words. That was really good.
I know. I did broaden my vocabulary because of this book, and I appreciate it. I was like, ooh, this one's gonna go on my list. I might pop that out sometime.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was
hmm
it. The characters were really good, and I like it. You can tell that the author was definitely a professor in philosophy. So it was just like I was
Yeah.
trying. You can tell that that was their world, and um, it's definitely different because I'm always going into like sci-fi. I don't know about everybody else, but my book of choice is like fictional sci-fi stuff. So
Yeah.
and trying to underline everything, but I appreciated the characters, kind of where it was. I can't even. What was her name? I can't even think of it. But Renee. Mm.
Renee.
Yeah,
Mhm.
liked her. It was kind of hard to kind of relate to them in the beginning of the book. I don't know. This book was like really difficult for me.
It
Um,
was. It was a slow start.
yes, and it was a very slow pace, and it was kind of like they jumped you into the world of the mindset, which is this is you're talking to these two women. Well, I think of Paloma as a woman, um, with very high IQs, and it's kind of like you dumped into that real quick, and so you try to figure out the workings of their mind on top of them trying to figure out the workings of like the general public for them, where they don't understand and you're trying to understand them, and it was just kind of a little bit for me in the beginning. It was a little bit chaotic, but then you start to realize I guess for me, the connection for the characters was them trying to understand their society and me trying to understand them. So that's why I started to connect, and that's why I started to build that foundation for this book. So I don't know about anybody else. I talk a lot, so I'll give the floor to anybody who wants to chat about it, because I can go on forever, by the way.
I thought the girl, not Renee, the Palmoa, I thought she was like a teenager. Because didn't they mention like her 13th birthday or something like that?
Yeah, she's like a preteen.
Yeah, so I was kind of shocked how
Yeah.
smart she was for like such a young little girl. So I was like, damn.
Yeah, and that was kind of really cool because they have Paloma, who's a preteen, and then they have Renee, who's in her mid-50s, and but essentially they're pretty much the same person, and you get to kind of see Paloma, like, Renee, if she was younger in modern day, and that's in Paloma, and then you see Renee, it's like you can see the whole timeline of a person like them, with this high GQ, and they just kind of don't fit into their society. And then I guess, towards the end, that kind of saves Paloma and trying to realize that, there's more to life, and to live it, with everything. So, yeah, she definitely was not an average 12-year-old, that's for sure.
Yeah. It was a really witty 12-year-old.
Yes. Yes, really, like, really witty 12-year-old, very, very angsty too. It's intelligent, but then got that angst in there, and then it was definitely fun to read. I like to read her parts, and then after I got to know Renee, I really like to read hers as well. Her dialogue.
I really liked Renee and Manuela. Was it the other housekeeper that she used to have tea parties with? I was like, I could just imagine them there, having a good time and having all those pastries they were eating.
I know, and that was like my favorite part. I was like, oh yay, they're having tea time. It was so refreshing. Like if I was there, and I was like, ooh, yay, just this elegance of tea, and just that's them getting away. That's them, being in this culture of the building, the the high society building, that they have that nice time together, that the companionship too. So I really liked that. I felt like I was having tea, and when they're describing the little pastries that she would make, I was just like, oh, it's like, and I gotta go to the baker. So and it was definitely nice. I think I was like even reading, and then I was drinking tea, because they, like, I don't know, I just wanted to get into it, so I started drinking tea when they were drinking their tea too. Yeah. So that was definitely nice. And then I really I wish they added more of Paloma's friend. What was her name? Marguerite? Or
for a little bit they had a little clip of her, yeah.
Yeah, and I was really liking her. She was sassy, and she was pretty smart herself, but she was a really sassy girl, and I wish they added a little bit more, actually a lot more of her. That would have been really cool, that connection, because that reminded me of Noella with Renee. So I was just a little bit sad that she was kind of like a blip in it. It was just, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a nice character. Yeah, she was that had the quick comebacks.
Yes, really, really quick comebacks, and she knew what to say, and usually people, they dwell on it for like 10 minutes, and they're like, see, I should have said that. But I liked her, I really did, and I wish she was one of the characters I wish there was more of, and definitely one of my favorite. Because I think in the last book, me and Sophia were like, okay, who was like your favorite character, but they were kind of they weren't the main characters, and who'd you pick and stuff like that. But definitely Marguerite. I think that's her name, Marguerite.
Yeah.
She's definitely one. And also, I really like Neptune, the dog. I don't know why, but there was just something about it. Happy.
The whole episode outside the elevator.
Yes. And it was fantastic because, he brought refreshment into the world, the stifling world that could be in that building. And it was just, that was the instinct and whatever made him happy. So outside the elevator, that was a really good scene, and that made me laugh. And
yeah. Yeah,
It was
because you can
definitely pretty.
imagine it happening. You can imagine her just like falling and her hair coming to the side and
Yeah. And then her body's going one way and her ponytail's going the other, and that was very good visual there on that one. I really that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, and then
I didn't
I
really
guess
get the part about the camellias. I think I didn't really understand that part.
I don't I you know what, I didn't either, and I was trying to really hard to kind of like
I thought I
uh,
might have to do it
dig.
again.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I guess I gotta dig a little bit more. I don't, but I guess it's like the pureness of the moment of looking at the flowers. I don't know.
Because then when
I
they brought the character, the rich guy, the food critic's son, and he came back and told her how the camellias made a difference for him, it made me think back, and I thought, oh yeah, they did talk about the camellias, but I didn't really get the whole thing.
yeah, and then and then they added him on there, and I was just kind of like, where? A lot of this book was like, okay, where are we going? I
Hmm.
know it's got such great meaning, but I don't know where we're going with it. And I wish I wish I understood a little bit more. And it was really hard if you have like Hazel looking at me saying like hi, when I'm trying to be on my iPad, I'm like, oh hey. So um
It had a lot of philosophy, so I think it makes you want to like go back and you have to go read Tolstoy and Nietzsche and all of that in order to understand the book.
yes, exactly. And you know what? I think that happened to character Renee where she didn't understand something and she went to the library and she was doing her research, and after like 3 weeks or 2 weeks she goes and continues what she was doing before, I think, to help her. And I sat there, I was like, well, that's pretty much what I feel like I have to do for this book, which
Yeah.
was kind of funny because I think the author knew that too. He's like, just sometimes you just kind of got to dig a little bit deeper and research and understand if you're kind of jumping into it. So
Yeah, it definitely made you think, you know.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Which I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting it though. I really wasn't. I was kind of, like I said before, we came from like, Jennifer Government, which was very Matrix-esque, and just talked about politics and what, just craziness. And then I go here, I was like, ooh, this is interesting. Um, but I did like it because in the end, when you think about this book, you're gonna think about the characters, and pretty much the basis of this book is, um, I guess don't be afraid of like who you are. I guess that's what they were. They like Renee was afraid of her intelligence and like her class, and
Mhm.
she didn't appreciate it at all. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
not appreciate it, but I think she just didn't understand that that's not now. She was very set in the old ways, and she could have just bloomed. And I guess that was her warning to Paloma. With it was an eye opener when Renee's death, which was crazy because I was like, what the hell?
And yeah, like I would thought she was gonna be happy and she was gonna have a relationship with Mr. the Japanese guy, and then
Uzu or Ozo or
yeah,
um,
Yeah.
Kiko, and then all of
Car.
a sudden it's like, oh, gone.
I know it was definitely just like a, but I guess it's a metaphoric way of saying that life can just end like
Yeah.
that. You know.
Said that it only matters what matters is what you were doing when you died. So she was doing all these great things. She was about to go into a relationship. She was making new friends, and she was really doing a lot of good things. But then it just all ended.
Yeah, and it's definitely an eye opener. She decided she has more than one friend, and she's doing all these wonderful things, and without any warning or anything, it could just end like that. So that's why I was just a little bit shocked, and I was just like, oh, it was like in the book, I was like, oh no. And then also when she was talking about her husband's death, I ended up crying in that part.
Mm.
Aw.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it was his goodbye in the movies, and I literally lost it, and I was just like, I gotta put this down for a second. I don't know why. Emotional wreck on that part. That was the part that really, I think, that really touched me, that I could remember from that. It's just who he was as a character. I guess as a husband to her, he was honest and just loyal, and the way he said goodbye, it was just very sincere, and it just rang in me. So I don't know. That was my favorite part out of the book.
Now I have to watch the movie The Hunt for Red October because I've never watched that one.
I didn't either, and I actually put that in my notes when I was writing down. I was like, I gotta Google that, or I gotta look for it, but I haven't. So I feel like I watched it.
Isn't it that sub movie or something like that? They're in like a submarine or whatever. And they're
It's a
hiding.
military type movie with Sean Connery.
Yeah, I feel like I watched that for like a class or something, but it's forever ago. So I'm definitely gonna watch that one, and if I watch it, I'm gonna think of this book. So, and also, what was it? It was towards the end. I think definitely the tea time got me too. It was just refreshing, and now I want to go have tea again at the Drake. I was like, we gotta go to the Drake again. I gotta go have. That was delicious.
There was this one cake that they kept having. I wrote a note on the book. I think it was called like Golfa or something like that. And I looked it up on the internet, and you can actually find the recipe for that cake that they kept eating. That she said it was like an Alsatian cake. And I was like, now I'm gonna have to make that cake because it sounds really good.
I know, and they were talking about the Madeline cookies, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I just want to eat that right now.
Yeah, with orange flavor. I was like, that sounds good.
It sounds really good. And the jasmine tea, I was like, ooh. And it definitely brought me back to my baby shower, just eating all that stuff and having that wonderful tea. So I was like, that definitely has to happen again. But
I also, she described the test that she uses to see if a book is good, the plum test.
I like that, yeah.
And then she says she does it with chocolate sometimes, that if the book has more interest than what you're eating, then it's a good book. I was like, good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a good way of like just make a decision. The plum or the chocolate. The plum's out of season, and which one?
Yeah.
So I like that one. I really appreciated after getting into the book the characters of Renee, and Paloma was hard for me because it was definitely like a little bit angsty. I was like, okay, you're 12 and everything's crazy and you don't appreciate things. We've all been there, and but after,
like where she realizes that she was kind of being like a rich little girl, like she described it, that she didn't really know what pain was, so she wanted to make her parents suffer and burn her apartment and everything, and then she realized like, oh gosh, what was I thinking?
yeah, and that was the end, and that's what I appreciate over this book, is because Renee's death was the eye-opening for Paloma, where it's like I didn't know anything. She pretty much admitted that I was oblivious as my sister, and my parents. I was just the same. And now, well,
her Paloma's mother, that she was so oblivious to everything, because when Renee died, she said, "Who's Renee?"
Yeah, and then yes,
she knew her for years, and she didn't even know her first name.
Yeah, who's Renee? And then she just kind of tosses it like, nobody important. And that was just like, oh, Paloma's mom. And just one good sock in the face. And her sister, too. It was just like, oh, man. It's like, I've seen people like that. I've known a couple of people that are kind of like, what was her name? Olympi? Or?
Columbi?
No. Columbi. Yeah, I got them mixed up for some reason. Olympi and Columbi, but Columbi, which I was like, oh, interesting. Interesting name. Columbi, that was also another one. But yeah, she kind of, that was really great. The whole, towards the end, it was just like she sat down and she had one of her last great thoughts, what she was, on the quest for. And she got it, that, with Renee's death, that was one of the, what she was seeking, really, because she knew that she wasn't going to, go kill herself and do all this extravagant things, but she just, being a teenager, and at the end, I was like, oh, thank you, Paloma, because it was kind of hard for me to kind of get in there for her.
And you kept waiting for it to happen. Like, I kept waiting for it to, like, oh, no, she's going to kill herself. Oh, no, it's going to happen now.
Yeah, oh, no, maybe she'll change it or something. But, in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that she kind of wasn't, going to do it. It was just, it's all say, and I don't know, because it's just like as a kid you kind of relate, just kind of thinking that way, but you're not, you don't understand until when you finally do, and you kind of see the reality, the realness of everything, and then you kind of step back, and then you understand. So
Yeah.
I just wish that the Mr. Ozu, or what was his name, Karatu? Yeah,
Katsuko?
Karazuko. Yeah. Yeah, that him and Renee kind of should have had like a really awesome love affair. Just a beautiful love.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that part.
I know, and he was so excited, and he seeked her out, and it was just wonderful, because he could see that in her, and he was a great character. I was like, you are just an amazing man.
Yeah. Oh, Kakuro. That was his name, Kakuro.
Kakuro, yeah, Kakuro. He was pretty cool, and I really wanted to like see an actual his assistant, Paul. They just made him sound so dreamy. I was like, I would like to see him in real life.
I know, like be like really handsome with like a European suit on and looking really sharp, you know?
That sounds like a Justin Timberlake like get up and just sharp, and I was like, ooh. And just his demeanor was just very elegant, That's what she kept on saying. It was just he had that poise to him, and I was like, I want to meet him. He sounds so pretty. But yeah, and I think I appreciated this book more towards the end. Definitely, I understood it, and it was a hard one to get into, and then when I got into it, and finally build that foundation for all the characters for me, I liked it. It was a good book. It was definitely, you have to get into that mindset. It's not just like a regular just romance or willy-nilly book. It's definitely a heavy one.
Yeah. It's like I hadn't read a book in a long time where I actually have to take notes, write words down, look them up, and I feel like I was in college again.
I know, and like the last book, I just like read, and then I know Sophia wrote notes, and I was just reading what I can remember because that's like the best way I can do. And then this one, I was like, oh my goodness, I was like, I need to find a notebook, and like I was like, and a pen, and I was writing everything down, and then I was using my tools on my iPad to like just look up the words, and I was like, what does that mean? Right away.
Mm-hmm.
But
and that wasn't my intention either when I picked the book. I just wanted something like funny and like easy, and yeah. So sorry, guys.
No, but you know what? You kept us on our toes, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think once I warmed up to it, and like it almost took like half the book to warm up to it, and like you said, into the characters, and then I really enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah. This one was definitely because I was just like, oh, I don't think I can get into this one, but it was a challenge, and I liked it, and I took the challenge, and I was like, all right, well, let's do this, So I liked it, and I probably I'm gonna reread it sometime again in the future, just so I can really get the essence of the book. But definitely not anytime soon. I just got another book for now, kind of rearrange some things, but I don't know. Can you guys like just a question of like this dashboard? I just wanted to make sure. So you're on like your phone, and then you're on your pad. Do you guys have like the effects? I know that
I just have the background changes. That's all I can do.
No, on the phone it's just a black background.
the black background. Oh, okay.
Like you can make one person the main screen and put the other on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah, for like the effects, it's really cool. We played around with it last time. And that's why you saw the pictures of like me and Sophia and like Mike's just sitting there, but we were like just going nuts. Like I guess they have like audio and visual, and you can have a little bit fun with that one. And
Dark for a second. Sorry, I'm moving around.
oh no, sorry. It was like one of those ghost shows. Like,
Yeah.
noise.
You want to see? You want to see Boo Boo? Say hello, Boo Boo.
Hello.
He follows me everywhere.
Oh.
Well, maybe he wants to discuss the book too,
Like, I have some thoughts. And then at the last one, I guess we established like we're gonna do like a rating of the book, and then I just put it up on on the page and say this is what we rated it from like a 5-star, So I guess I'll go first. I'm gonna give this book a 3. A good 3. Ooh, multiples.
Oh wait, I'm gonna close one of these. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing.
It's like the greatest thing ever. The 2 Vanessas.
Wait, hold on. How do I get rid of the other?
I don't think they can see you or hear you.
Oh, was that Rick?
Yeah, he's kind of.
Okay.
Say
That
hi.
is
Hi, Rick.
okay. Am I back now?
Yep, you're back.
It's just dark. Let me turn the light on.
There you go.
All right. Here we go. I'm back to the laundry room.
Yeah, that basement here. It was a little bit dark. I had to kind of slit the window open. I was like, ooh, it's so scary.
I was trying to click on the computer. It had the effects that you were talking about. What is it, like a little sidebar here?
Yeah, it's a sidebar. Let me see. Yeah, it should give you like sound. It like looks like a little wand and some stars and a yellow box.
Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah, it says Google plugin. Okay, let's see.
I'm gonna just add my tiara because,
Oh.
and then get a little bit nuts, a little bit crazy. I think I did like the eye patch and the like Mike Ditka mustache last time. And we were having full discussions with like just mustache. Like, look at this. Yeah.
I have it, but
Yeah, I'll probably
work it. I have to play with it.
It's my favorite.
I like your stash.
I know, I got like really good cheeks with this mustache. Like my dimples, it just looks good. I like it.
You should see your sister right now. You can add stickers when you do it on the computer. So she's got like a stash on her.
Oh, I like that one. That's cute.
Yeah, and this is the one I wore last time because I was just like, this is fantastic. And then me and Sophia are having like a deep conversation.
Yeah,
on the book.
if Lauren moves her face, the whole thing moves with
It just
her.
follows you around. That's pretty neat how it follows you around. Yeah.
Got a little bit of a lag on my end, but
You should do a Halloween costume like that.
and then you can do your backgrounds. Like if you scroll, it should be on the effects. You can do facial hair and props. Like look, just birthday cake.
See, I could do the background, so I can make like I could do like this. I can make myself in like heat screen, but that's all I could do.
Oh, I don't even have that option. Where's my background? Oh, yeah, and we were doing a lot of for like our favorite character of the book, and then we were just like saying we appreciate, Manuela. And then what was this one? Oh no. Oh, that was serious. It has really cool ones. And then what did we do? We were talking on the beach. Weird.
That's so cool.
Let me add. You can adjust it. Can I do this?
Oh.
Auto adjust. Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Better. Much better.
Yes. So I'm on the beach with my tiara, mustache, and eye patch. This is really cool. It's you gotta play around with it, and like the only way you can play around with it is like if you're on the actual like chat form. That's how I figured it out.
Yeah.
Let me just take that out. But I do like it.
I'll have to add that onto mine. Yeah, I think I have to add a plugin here. I'll do it next time I go on. Because I see the little features on the side here. Yeah, that's neat.
So that's why I like this one a little bit more. It's a little bit difficult. And like we were just frustrated at first, but it's pretty cool. But anyways, I rated this book a 3. Appreciate it. I think my favorite character is Manuela. So props to Manuela on that one. Where is it? Hold on. There you go. And and what about you guys?
I think my favorite character was Renee. She kind of grew on me. Like I said, it took about half the book for it to grow on me, and I hadn't read any fiction in a while because I usually just read like boring medical books. So I like to give it a 5, but I'm not a good judge of that. Just because I hadn't read a fiction book forever, so it was kind of refreshing.
Yeah. What about you, Samantha?
Probably a 3 too. I didn't really actually get too attached to anyone. I mean, I liked them all together, but I didn't have like a favorite character like I normally do. So.
Yeah. It was a different book. It definitely was, but I appreciate it because, sometimes you just got to get out of your norm and even though you're reading, it might just be some, just regular text, but it kind of it definitely sharpened my mind. I'm sorry, I'm looking at myself and it just looks ridiculous. So I'm gonna just take this off.
It's hard to take you seriously with the eye patch.
I know. I'm just amazed how that mustache just.
I like that background feature because I'd like to get rid of my laundry room background here and put a nice one.
I know, that's what I was doing with the background. It's so warm on this beach. And then they have, what is it, Venice? Yeah. There we go.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
There's my Venice one. That actually looks a little bit better than the other one.
Oh, I like that one. Neat.
So, I like it. It was a good read. Definitely kept me sharp, and I'll probably go back and read it again. But I guess the next book will be for Vanessa. You get to pick the next book.
Oh,
I'm just going to see by who joined when, So.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to research it and then I'll post what I pick by tomorrow because otherwise I'll post I'll pick a medical book or something.
Yeah, you're like, what? The last one was hard. Let's do this.
We're all emailing you like, what does this mean? I don't know what this is.
And we're gonna read The Friendly Guide to Grey's Anatomy. No.
All right, I'll take up that challenge.
Can we just watch them? Would the show count as credit if we watch them?
Not included. I think Rick was telling me he wanted to join, but he's gonna make us read War and Peace or what was it? And I was like, Rick.
What?
Is that true? You were gonna join, but you're gonna make us read War and Peace or something like that? Or Ulysses? Ulysses is the book.
Yeah, Ulysses.
It's like you need the source for every word.
I'm like, I don't want to read Ulysses. All right, well, it sounds good. Unfortunately, it's sad that Vanessa and Mike didn't join because she's definitely kooky when it comes to book club reading. And then it's literature and libations, but my libations is upstairs. But I will put up the link because it's mighty delicious. It's like a peach. You get like a white wine and some peaches, and then you blend it all together, and it's like a slushie, like a wine slushie. Refreshing. And I guess I just post.
I just had a mimosa.
Kind of late.
Kind of late in the day, but it's what I had in the fridge.
I'll take it. I love mimosas. What are you drinking, anyways, Samantha?
It's Stella Rosa. It's just a white wine. I like. So
Nice.
it's like $10. So
I took it.
Job done.
All right, ladies. Well, it was definitely nice talking to you about this book. And then I guess Vanessa just post that, and then we'll get to reading. And then I think some other people were talking to me that they wanted to join the club. So we're probably going to have a bunch of people next time.
Okay.
Yeah, Missy gave me her thing. She says next time to do it. So.
What was that?
Missy, oh, sorry, it's slow. Missy gave me her name if you wanted it, because she wants to do it next time.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Just message that to me so then I can add her to the list when I initiate the chat next time.
Okay, good. Yes.
All right, ladies. And this should be up somewhere. I will post it on the page, and then it'll be on, I'll post a link so then everybody can see our discussion of what we just had. So,
okay.
Goodbye, everybody, and have a nice rest of the evening. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.